I feel like the self improvement space nowadays is pretty interesting, right? There's lots of different videos you can watch, people talking about how to get six pack abs and, this specific method, or right, or how to talk to girls, how to make money online, how to gain financial freedom and things of that sort, right? For self improvement, you can really watch a video and find out how to do anything, right? And all of that, is helpful in its own way, but I feel like it's not necessarily needed, right? Or you shouldn't follow all of those things to a T, right? And the reason I think this is that I feel like everybody has their own method of doing things. Everybody has their own like basically everybody has their own formula for improving themselves and accomplishing their goals, right? So a bit of a story. I was talking to this girl, right? I met this girl at work, and we I work at a fast food place, and she worked at a different chain, but they had sent her to our location because we were low on people, right? So I thought she was pretty cute, right? So we were working. I saw her checking me out. I started talking to her, right? So we were kind of vibing. We were hitting it off together, and she ended up asking me for my IG as I was about to ask her for hers, right? So I'm like, okay, so she's probably into me, right? So I followed the advice that people online, oh, don't send the first text, thing like that. So I just did my own thing. She ended up hitting me up. We started talking a little bit, except so we I kind of just went on for around like 2 weeks, or 2 weeks or so, maybe a bit longer, where I had just been texting her, and I wanted to like, I guess, ask her to hang out, but I ended up like, I don't know why I didn't just ask. So fast forward a bit, I'm still texting her or whatever, and I realized, she's not. I don't know. Like at the start, she seemed a lot more interested, but as time went on, she stopped responding as fast, and like we stopped talking as much, right? And I was like, oh shoot, let me see if I can do something. So we were texting again, and then I ended up like giving her a compliment through a voice message, and by the response, I could tell that she wasn't really interested, right? And so I figured out, or I'm assuming that I waited way too long before I tried to like initiate something, which is why she kind of just moved on. And looking back, I'm glad I did. End up trying, right? Because that's experience, right? I can use that experience to better myself in the future. And the point of that story, I suppose, is that I feel like life is just one big experiment, right? So I've come to realize that that's basically what self improvement is all about. It's essentially this trial and error. Like it's just one big experiment, right? So let's say you're working on your body, you wanna get jacked, you wanna get shredded, right? There's lots of different information out there about like what specific exercises to do, how many reps you should do, how much attention and things of that nature, right? What you're supposed to do is take all of that information, put it to the test, right? You can try out, 4 to 5 reps, 6 to 8, 8 to 12, 12 to 15, right? Find a range that works for you, the range where you can go to the gym, or you can, do that specific amount every single time, right? Because just there might be the perfect way, but it might not be the perfect way for you specifically. But you won't know that until you go out and you test it for yourself. You see what works and you see what doesn't work for you, right? Maybe let's say if you're trying to talk to this girl, right? Yes, there's lots of different information about how you should approach her, what you should text them, right? You gotta take all of that information in, find out what works for you specifically, and then put it to action. But you won't know what works for you until you go out and do things, right? That's kind of the fun aspect of it, right? Because you don't know what's gonna work, in like going out there and experiencing all these different things, gaining all of this new knowledge and information. It's kind of fun in a way. You're improving yourself by taking action. You've got to get outside. You've got to go out there, and you have to do things. And so after coming to this realization, I've cut back on consuming so much self-improvement content. So I'll usually listen to a podcast while I'm working out at the gym, but other than that, I don't really watch self-improvement content anymore because you after you watch so many videos, it's basically just repetition of the things you already know, right? Essentially, you already have the knowledge that you already have what you need, right? You just have to put things into action and figure out what works for you, right? That knowledge is nothing without action. It's just a waste of brain matter. It's a waste of thinking. It's a waste of time. What's the point of learning if you're not gonna put what you learned into action? You're just wasting time, and time is the most valuable resource that you have. It's the most valuable commodity. Once it's gone, you can't get it back. It just disappears, ceases to exist. I'd like to end this video off with an interesting quote from Ted Nicholas. Knowledge without action is like having no knowledge at all. You know what you have to do. Go outside, take some action, and improve yourself. Let's put our heads down and let's put the work in. We out.
Mwah.